We love to inspire and reward
Billions of business souls
to gamify their life
to share products and services
they care deeply about.
so they experience the magical power.
of referral marketing.
Welcome to the next episode of the NaXum podcast. I'm Gail, and I'm here with CEO Ben Dixon and Sales Executive Tamiko Saz. And today we are going to talk about predictive actions in 2023 and the difference insight data brings to referral marketing companies. Right now, as we put out content daily on our social media, we talk about insight data and how it helps companies every day, especially in 2020 and post-pandemic, how to create or how to make decisions clearly and not just create blind decisions. So how about you kick us off, Sir Ben, and talk more about um, the predictive actions in 2023?
Yeah, and thank you so much, Gail, and thank you, Tammy, for joining us on the show today. Again, what's important to understand as we unpack this thought today is that there's a report that Tammy and I put together. We've been sharing with a number of leaders in the space, and we've shared this report. The leaders have said, "Oh, wait a minute, I actually didn't think about it that way," and so it's creating this new bit of thought of where people are seeing how to make changes that make a real difference in their referral marketing company, direct selling company, network marketing company, and it starts with a simple conversation that of what we've been doing and what requires what we call a reframe, a new way to think about something we've all been doing. And so if you think about how most referral marketing companies run, if you take like a Venn diagram and have two circles, and you'd have what the company wants over here and what the team in the field wants over here, and where those two barely touch, that's usually the things people focus on. Okay, this is part of the company's goal and the field supports it. Let's go do that. And what they're missing is this big hunk of information of what the market wants, right? Now, some companies do well with what the market wants. Some pay for studies and are plugged into what's going on in their industry. But even from those three circles, there's even a bigger one of what the company in the field didn't even know they needed. Okay. In the world today, it's changing so fast that the majority of the information is stuff we don't even know that we need to virally grow our referral marketing companies. And so the ask is to take a break for a second from the what's we do each day and rethink how we're doing what we're doing each day. And that's why we're talking about the different types of data. You see, most people in direct sales that Tammy and I interact with on a daily basis, they're expected to have this like magic hat, right? We call it the magic hat because I don't know how else to say this. And when they put on the magic hat, they're supposed to be able to look at transactional data like sales and subscriptions from last month. And they're supposed to know the most efficient way to virally grow the company through promotions, through training, and through creative content. And just as we're saying that right now, I mean, laughing like, hey, it's not very efficient, right? We're all sitting here saying like, there's a lot of waste in just like guessing what promotion to run and what trainings to create and what shareable content to invest in. And so how do you make that better? Well, get more data than just transactional data. Some companies in the space have gotten to the spot where they have leading indicator data. Leading indicator data is when you have information of what leads to the sale. So maybe how many people attended our webinars this week, or how many people went to business opportunity presentations, or how many people went to follow-up experiences. Okay, that's some leading indicator data. But even less companies have the leading indicators of the leading indicators, what we call predictive actions, right? What text messages did people send that created enough curiosity to get someone to these webinars? What messages did people share on social media that got someone to come to the landing page? And if you can get the full picture, you can start to create efficiencies. And that's the real message on the podcast today is, gang, if you can understand the leading indicators and understand the predictive actions in the world, you can actually get efficiencies. And this is where the numbers get crazy. So as Tammy shares some of the things we've been seeing with people, even if you have a 20% efficiency on your numbers, once you start looking at them from the benchmark of the marketplace, you almost make double the money as a company. But like double the money going to the field, double the money going to your cost of goods sold and your net profit. For many of you, your if that's double the revenue, your profit is much higher. than just double with a 20% efficiency. Some companies will hit a 40% efficiency, where literally the cash you create, that 3 times is going to your sales field, and 3 times is going to the company for cost of goods sold and net profit, and a 3x increase to COGS and net profit. It could be like a 10x increase in profit, gang. It's just ridiculous when you look at what's possible when you start to create efficiencies across the board. So the question becomes like, how have we been doing it, Tammy? How are people actually getting the information that we're talking about today?
Well, with the NaXum technology, the one thing that has been the game changer in our sector is the fact that with predictive leading indicators, we have the ability to, well, first, when you start and you think about transactional data, something you brought up before, Ben, that is the lowest form of data. So that's not going to get us to where we need to get, because it's a sale.
Exactly.
You're developing, you deliver on it, and you're trying to get a sale. You're putting in more effort than needs to happen. Then we talk about the leading indicators, where we're talking about the presentation, the follow-up, and hopefully building that trust that you need to move forward. But it's the predictive actions, it's that driven inside data that allows us, like you said, to understand what messaging and content is working. And that is the key to it, to know that this is going to be the game changer. This is going to make the most impact. This is how those companies are going to grow virally, by utilizing and understanding what they're doing, what they're saying, and how they're reaching their buyers, their customers, their clients. So when we think of that, we think of that connection, that curiosity, and that opportunity that is happening, versus just, like I said, the presentation, the follow-up, the trust, or the sale, delivering on that sale and going back to trying to recreate that effort. So when we look at those numbers and the numbers that you just shared, it's actually remarkable why more companies aren't doing it that way. When you have a tool like Predictive Actions, it literally will make the impact you need. It will literally teach and train the people in their company. It's having that leader sitting right next to you, giving you all the things, the prompts, how you need to communicate. And it's something that we customize and build for our business souls throughout. So it's not like something they have to think about and come up with some amazing content to do it. This is the content that is research that we take the time to work with, and that's also compliant to what that company's messaging is. So just knowing that you have all these game changers now to make that impact, those are the things that we're seeing. So instead of having the sale to deliver the sale, instead of having the presentation, the follow-up, the trust, start having the connection, the curiosity, and the opportunity, because that's the impact right there.
Yeah, and gang, let's just put some real numbers on it, so you see what Tammy and I are unpacking for you, even on a podcast. So if you're driving in the car, or listening to video podcast, or sitting on your LinkedIn, or wherever you are today, if you just imagine that the benchmarks of the industry for a regular product in a category of, somewhere in the lifetime value of customer of $1,000 to $3,000 for full lifetime value of customer. So maybe they're coming in for $200 and subscribing for X number of months, or they're coming for $500 and subscribing for X number of months. Normally, to get someone into a presentation in a regular system might be 10 to 1. So if you wanted to get 20 people in the room, it would be 200 people invited to a presentation. And when I say in a room, this could be on a landing page through a video presentation, or on a webinar, or in a physical room. Out of those presentations, it's pretty normal. You'd have about 25% of the people that make it through your whole presentation to actually come to a follow-up experience, whether that's right after the presentation, if it's physical, or if it's someone online that has a follow-up experience afterwards. And out of those people you follow up with, having about 20% of them move forward is a very normal number. So to get a single sale, it could be as many as 200 text messages or outreaches by the people in your field that are getting the 20 people there, that the 5 get to the follow-up, that you get the 1 customer. Now, here's what's brilliant. If you just get a 20% efficiency, so instead of 5 people at a follow-up, it only takes 4, okay? Instead of instead of 20 people at a presentation, it only takes 16, okay? Now to get 16 people in a presentation would only be a 116-year-old number, but if you get a 20% efficiency of that, it's only 124. So now you go from 200 outreaches to a customer to 124 outreaches to a customer, just with a 20% efficiency gain. And if you get a 40% efficiency, it drops all the way to only 70 invites.
Yep.
It's you, a customer. And so it's these things that if you're still trying to build a business and it's you, where you feel like you're putting on a magic hat because you're just looking at transactions, You're just looking at sales numbers and subscriptions, and you're trying to make decisions about outreach, about training, about shareable content, about promotions to run,
Mhm.
you're wasting millions of dollars. And there's a better way to do it today. There's a way to build to where you actually have this information. One of the best things I could share from this podcast is if you haven't met with Tammy yet and sat down and walked through this information, to go to naxumtour.com and set a time to meet with Tammy or myself to talk through these numbers and what this paradigm shift would feel like for your business. Because numbers are different for each business. And we've been blessed to work in all kinds of different niches in referral marketing to where we could speak to some specifics for your actual niche and your
Mhm.
business. And we'd love to do that. I want to thank you so much for listening to the show today. Thank you so much for having us out here. Wishing each and all of you all the best. Back to you, Gail.
If you're watching us on LinkedIn, you can also listen to an audio podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Anchor FM. So today we learned about how inside data can drive differences in your referral company in 2023. It's all about creating efficiency and helping others win through predictive actions, which NaXum offers. So you can also book a discovery call at www.naxumtour.com. Thank you so much for listening today. Have a great rest of your day. Bye, everyone.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Tammy.
everyone.
Thank you, Gail. Bye for now.